and welcome to another edition of the Ally Stock Interview Series. I'm Deji Ademola. Today on the program we are discussing plant breeding and food security in Africa and indeed in Nigeria. And joining us on the program today is a renowned professor of plant breeding and genetics at the Department of Plant Breeding and Seed Technology, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Nigeria, Professor Ariyo Omolayo. Prof, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Let's start with the basic question. How important is plant breeding to national development?
Plant breeding can be defined as genetic adjustment of plant to the service of time. In other words, you can manipulate the genetic component of a plant to serve the need of the moment. Tomorrow the need changes, you can also manipulate it to serve the need of tomorrow. So it's not a one and for all venture. It's a continuous venture that you continue to do all the time. The need will always arise for plant breeding. Nature was the first plant breeder because it was selecting plants that were fit and allow the ones that are not fit to die. You know, when nature selects, it allows the ones that are good to reproduce effectively, and the ones that are not fit will die off. That's the way this nature was doing its own plant breeding. It was selecting those ones. In the same way, in plant breeding, we do select the best materials that will serve the purpose or the need of humanity, for the purpose of food, shelter, and even clothing. So depending on the objective of the breeding. So you see it even in medicine, plant breeding is everywhere. So it's a eminent science that is always the basis for every biological organism.
In March, sometimes in March this year, 2018, the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations listed Nigeria as one of the countries that needs that is in need of food assistance. How did Nigeria get to this state?
Well, it has been like that for some time. In sub-Saharan Africa, they are not food secure. Even when I don't remember the time Nigeria can claim to be food secure. When we talk of food security, we are talking of access to reliable food supply in quantity, quality, and access to it. What kind of access? Ability to buy it. Can you afford it? If it is available, can you afford it? So it is wanting to be available. It's another for you to afford it. So it is part of how it is food security is measured. Is it available in the right quantity, in quality? Is it available? Is it reliable? Can you get it all the time? Is it available to everybody? And the food security is for the well-being of individuals, for well-being of the household. So it is very important for any country. I remember when we were young, actually we were only eating a particular type of food, and most of it was carbohydrates. We eat rice during Christmas. Then rice, either you eat a bar or jam. Can we say we were food secure that way? Of course no. So when we talk of food security, is beyond that you just fill your stomach. That is not food security. That is what we'll be practicing in Nigeria for some time. But when we get to this point, when things look very expensive, then we think we have problems. It has been so for a long time. The food are not available in the right quantity and quality, and with varieties that we need to eat. And when talking of food, we eat carbohydrate, protein, vegetables. and fat and oil. Everything must be there. But how much of that have we been eating? It's not Nigeria alone, it's sub-Saharan Africa. I'm fixing that problem for a long time.
But why do we have that problem in sub-Saharan Africa?
Well, I think the problem has to do with leadership. I think leadership is part of the problem. Then again, the climate. Some sub-Saharan Africa are in the arid area where there's no rain.
When you talk about the leadership, what do you think the leaders are supposed to be doing to ensure food security in Africa?
In Africa, we have a large expanse of land. So at least we should be able to feed ourselves. All the money people take away to go and stack abroad can also be used to produce food. But instead, they use money for any other thing apart from food. They don't seem to have the interest of the country as heart. But when we have a leader that also has the interest of the country and he knows what to do per time, definitely he will know the first thing to tackle, which is food. Any country that is not food secured has no independence.
So, in one word now, is it possible to achieve zero hunger in Nigeria?
Of course, with time, we can. In the West, food is no longer their problem. They've conquered it. You get to what you want to buy, that the average food is very cheap. They have gone beyond that point, but we are still struggling to even get to where they are.
Okay, because I've seen some of your research works, and I know you've done a lot in the areas of plant breeding and genetics.
Yes.
But I want you to help me here. Apart from the leadership, okay, let's say the leadership is a problem, but what are the step-by-step process that you think these leaders can follow to achieve food security?
In the short run. For example, now let's look at what the University of Agriculture. We just exist here. Those who set up the university, they had a purpose. They wanted us to liaise with the Ministry of Agric and work together. But since we are set up, I'm not sure the Ministry of Agric has don't work with us. They are doing their own at Abuja. We are here. If they take any wrong policy at Abuja, we will know. We keep quiet. That's what they feel. But in a country where the business of the country is everybody's concerned, all hands must be on deck to make sure productions are done. So if we want to do step by step, let us face food production squarely instead of importation. There are some areas in Nigeria that have advantage for production. For example, South Nigeria has advantage for tuber crops, root and tuber crops. The middle belts, you can grow tuber and field crop and things like soya beans there. They are very good area. Extreme north, you can grow grains. And because they have the advantage of irrigation, they grow other vegetables. But let us major where we have advantage, and let us divide again those zones and produce food, and let the focus be on food, not on rice alone. If the south can produce cassava, yam or whatever they can produce, let them produce it. South middle belt is yam, soya bean, whatever they can produce, encourage them. East cereals, let them encourage, and make sure every sector is productive by encouraging them, by giving them fund. In that case, within a short time, Nigeria will have sufficient food to eat. But no, Nigerian policies are not sustainable all the time. Government comes, another comes, another one goes. Another one, when a new government comes, instead of a policy, a new one comes and starts a new policy. So there's no continuity in their programs.